Good morning, students. Today we will discuss another topic, budget. We know that this budget helps in every organization to execute their objectives perfectively. Budget means a perfect plan to execute the real activities without any problems in the organization. Here, real activities means how much production they have to do. For that production, how much percentage of amount should be invested in case of in terms of raw materials and in terms of workers, like that. To perform all these real activities without any problems, we need compulsorily a budget. So this means budget means first we have to analyze that how much production to do in a period of 3 months or 6 months or a year. So first we have to decide for the period how many number of units we should have to produce. That means 10,000 units, 20,000 units or 30,000 units, whatever it may be. First we have to decide how much production we have to do in a particular period of time. So next then we have to estimate for that production how much raw materials are required. For example, for 10,000 units of products we have to produce, that we have decided, we have to analyze that to produce that 10,000 units of products, how much, that means in kgs or in terms of liters, whatever it may be the ingredients, how many number of kgs are required to produce that units, how many number of liters are required to produce that many number of units. So that raw materials amount should we have to first analyze, and we should also identify that how many workers should we need to produce that number of units in a period of that time, and to run the machines how much fuel is required. Basically we will produce the products using some machines. So to run those machines, some machines runs by using the fuel, some machines runs by electricity, like that. For to run those machines, how much fuel is required, how much percentage of electricity is required, that we have to estimate. So like that we will have to produce all these elements in a one particular place, called it as a budget. So according to the future conditions, according to the forecast, first we have to prepare a budget. Once it get after preparing the budget, that we have to given to the management. Once it gets approved by the management, then we can proceed with that budget for that period. So this is the basic information about budget. So here I will show you, so what is the definition of a budget. So here budget is an overall blueprint of a comprehensive plan. Budget is nothing but a plan of operations and actions expressed in financial terms. Here we have to express in terms of amount, that is also called as financial terms. So what are all the operations we have to perform and what are all the actions we have to take, that we have to express in terms of financial, that means amount. So what are the features of this budget? The features are, it is a statement in terms of money or quantity or both. In terms of money we can prepare a budget, or in terms of a quantity also we can prepare, or both terms we can prepare a statement. And it is prepared for a definite future period, for the 3 months period of time, for the 6 months period of time, or for the 1 year time, like that we can first fix the period. Then it is prepared in advance. First we have to prepare the budget, then we have to do the real activities according to that plan, and its purpose is to attain a given objective. Why we have to prepare this budget means to attain a given objective. That means here first we have to set some objectives, like in a period of 3 months we have to produce the 10,000 units, that we have to set an objective. according to that objective we will prepare a budget, and we have to run the activities according to that plan. Okay, so this is about the budget and the features of budget. So next we will discuss about the types of budget. According to the various points of view, we can classify the budgets into three types. That is functional classification, classification on the basis of time factor, classification on the basis of flexibility. So these are all the 3 points we have to keep in our view to classify these budgets. Okay, now we will discuss one by one thoroughly. So first one is the functional classification. So functional activities. Functional means what are all the activities that we will produce in an organization that we can represent in the form of a function. A functional budget is a budget which relates to any of the functions of an undertaking. So what are all the functions we will perform in an organization? According to that functions we will prepare a budget. For example, what are all the functions, what are all the activities we will perform in an organization means production, sales, finance, etc. So according to these activities we will prepare the functional budgets. Okay, here in this functional budget we will prepare a master budget. So in this master budget all the functional budgets will be presented in one unit, that is also called it as it is the budget for the entire enterprise and embodies the summarized figures for various activities. So for production, how much it is it costs, for the sales how much it costs, for the finance how much it costs, like that we will put all the information in one particular budget, called it as a master budget. That I will show you how we will prepare this master budget later. So next we will see, so what are all the functional budgets we will perform. Suppose the following are the functional budgets. First one is the sales budget. So it is a forecast of total sales expressed in terms of money and quantity. So in the coming future period, how many that means what are all the sales we can perform in the coming 3 months, coming 6 months, or coming year. So like that first we have to estimate. Suppose we are expecting that we have to sell the products for 5 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees, like that first we have to prepare a budget. So in terms of money or in terms of quantity also we can prepare. So for example in terms of both also we can prepare. For example, if you want to sell 10,000 units of goods in a 3 months of period worthy of 5 lakh rupees. So 10,000 units is the quantity and its worth is 5 lakh rupees. So like that we can express in terms of money or in terms of quantity also, and we are expecting that in coming 3 months of time period we are going to sell these many number of products. Like that we have to prepare the sales budget. Next, production budget. It is a forecast of the production for the budget period. It may be expressed in units or standard hours also. So here production budget means how many number of units we have to produce in the coming 3 months or 6 months, like that. So it can be represented in the form of units or standard hours. So for standard hours means, for example, if we need 6 hours of time to produce 1 unit of products, then how many number of hours we require to produce 10,000 units. Like that in standard hours also we can represent the production budget, or we can represent in the form of a units for 10,000 units, 20,000 units, like that also we can perform. Next one is a material budget, and here it shows the details of raw materials to be consumed. So for these many number of production, that is 10,000 units of products, how much raw materials we are requiring, that we have to prepare in the form of a budget. That is called as material budget. So next one is a labor budget. It shows the details of labor requirements in quantity with estimated cost. Quantity means how many number of employees we are requiring to produce 10,000 units in a period of 3 months, and what are all their costs. So that we have to estimate and put it in a ledger budget. It gives detailed information about the number of employees, rates of wages, etc. So this can be altogether called it as labor budget. Next one is administration cost budget. This comprises the salaries and expenses of office for specific period. So we are the employees working in the factory and as well as in the office also. For office staff, how much salaries we have to pay, and what are all the expenses we done in the office. Like that we have to estimate that amount and we have to put it in an administration cost budget. Like that we will perform number of activities or number of functions in an organization. We can also prepare the cash budget also. So how much money we are receiving and how much money we are spending. So like that we can prepare the cash budget also. So we can prepare the capital budget also, how much money we are investing in an organization in order to get these many number of products. Like that we can prepare many number of functional budgets. Okay, so this is the main aim of the functional budgets. Okay, so next we will discuss a problem here according to the functional budget. So here I will show you a problem. So this is the information first they have given. For the 7 months of information they have given. So here in the problem, from the following information, prepare a monthly cash budget for the 3 months ending 31st December 2002. Here the end date is 31st December 2002. These are all the months in the 2002 year, but we are concentrating, or we have to prepare the monthly cash budget. For each and every month we have to prepare separate cash budget. For the 3 months, that means 3 months ending December. Ending December means December, previous month is November, previous month is October. For these 3 months, that means October, November and December, 3 months, we have to prepare the cash budget separately. So this is the overheads. These are all the expenditures, or what are all the incomes we have get in this particular period of time, that is in the 7 months of period of time. What are all the wages, what are all the expenses we have done, what are all the incomes we have generated, that they have given in the problem. For example, in the month June, July, August, September, October, November, December, like that they have given the 7 months information. Sales means income. So how many number of rupees, these are all in terms of money. Sales we have done in the month of June 3000 rupees of sales. In the month of July 3250, like that they have given the overall 7 months sales what we have done in the each and every month, that they have mentioned here. And the materials. So what are all the expenditures we have done on the materials, raw material cost. In the month of June they have spent rupees 1800 for purchasing of raw materials. In the July they have spent 2000 rupees in purchasing of raw materials. Like that what are all the money they have spent on raw material purchase, that they have in this column. And then what are all the wages they have paid for their employees, that they have given. And these are all the production overheads. What are all the expenditures that we have done in that production overheads in that period of 7 months. And this is administration and selling expenses. These are in the month of June, in the month of July, like that they have given incomes and what are all the expenditures that we have done in the 7 months of period. So and they have given another information also. Credit terms. Credit term means here we have to pay money to the other persons, or we have to get money from the other persons. That means sales means we are receiving the money. Here sales means we are receiving the money from the debtors. So okay, we have given the time. Here we have given the 3 months of time period for this sales. So and they have mentioned that 10% of sales are on cash. On an average 10% sales are on cash. That means, so then and there itself we have to pay 10% of money so 10% of money they have to pay. That means debtors have to pay 10% of amount. Then and there itself they are purchasing the products from us. Okay, that is called as 10% of sales are on cash. Next, 50% of credit sales are paid on the due dates, while other 50% are paid in the following month. So here we have given for the debtors 3 months time period. Okay, so at the time of sales, first they have to pay 10% of amount. The remaining amount they have to pay 50% in the due date and next 50% in the next coming month. Like that they have to pay the money. And creditors for materials. Creditors for materials means here we are paying the money to the suppliers. So for that creditors we are given with 2 months of time period. In the 2 months of time period we have to pay the money. Okay, so here we have to pay the total money in the due date. Okay, so these are all the credit terms they have given. And then lag in payments. Lag in payments means, so what are all the leftover money we have in the previous month that we have to pay in the current month. That means in the month, if we are lag in payments of wages, half of the wages amount in the January month, that half of the amount will be given to the employees in the February month. Like that we have to pay the money. So like that for the wages we are lagging in one fourth of months. For the production overheads we have half months, and administration and selling expenses also we are lagging half months. So next they have given cash and bank balance on 31st October is expected 1500. At the end of October 31st, so we have a leftover we have a bank balance of 1500 rupees. So that we have to take into account. And the other information also they have given, like that plant and machinery to be installed in August at a cost of rupees 24,000. It will be paid for by monthly installments of 5,000 rupees each from 1st October. So here we have purchased a plant and machinery that's cost is 24,000 rupees. So here this amount will be paid installment basis. Monthly we have to pay this money. So monthly we have to pay 5,000 rupees. So that installment amount must be start from 1st October. So this we have to mention. Next one is preference share dividend. So at 5% on 50,000 rupees are to be paid on 1st December. So this dividend we have to pay for the customers. So 50,000 rupees on 50,000 rupees we have to calculate 5% amount that we have to pay on 1st December. So first we have to find out the 5% of 50,000 rupees, then we have to pay this on 1st December. Next one is calls on 250 equity shares. We have 250 equity shares at rupees 2 per share. So 1 share cost is 2 rupees expected on 1st November. We are getting this amount. we are receiving this amount. In the previous we are paying this amount. In this C we are getting this amount, we are receiving this amount. So next, dividends from investments amounting to 250 are expected on 31st December. So this also we are getting, we are expecting the amount on 31st December 250 rupees. So this also we are receiving. And the income tax to be paid in December 500 rupees. This is we are paying that. So this is some we are preparing here in this problem. They have given us to prepare the cash budget. So in the cash budget we will make a note that both the income, that means the receipts, and both the payments also, receipts and payments we have to mention in the preparation of cash budget. Sorry, here they have given that only 500 rupees each from 1st October. So this payment, this install amount is 500 rupees, not 5000 rupees. Please make a correction. So this is the preparation of cash budget. So in the month of October, so what are all the receipts we have, and what are all the payments we have done, and what is the leftover amount that will be brought to the next month, and what are all the receipts in November. What are all the receipts in November month, and what are all the payments in the November month, and what is the leftover amount that has to be brought here. That is December 1st, and we have to mention what are all the receipts in December month, and what are all the payments in December month, and the leftover amount. So like that we have to prepare for each and every month cash budget separately. Okay, so in the previous page we have given with a problem. So now we will see what are all the receipts we have and what are all the payments we have. So here, so receipts means here we have sales. Sales is the receipts one, and that is the income we have generated according to the sales that we have to calculate, and we have to mention here. And the shares also we have done. So shares, in the form of shares, how much money we are getting in each and every month, and in the form of dividends, how much money we are getting in the every month, that we have to calculate, and we have to put it here. And here payments also we have to mention. Payments means creditors. Creditors means the amount for raw materials, how much amount we have to pay the raw materials, that we have to mention. For October month, how much we have to pay. For the November month, how much we have to pay. For the December month, how much we have to pay. We have to calculate and put it in the payments section. Wages also we have to take it as a payment. So for the wages, how many, that means we have given it as a lag payments, so that we have to calculate according to the given conditions, and we have to put it in each and every month. Production overheads, administration and selling overheads, these are all the expenditures we have done. And in the form of dividend, how much we are paying to the customers, that we have to mention. In the form of income tax, how much money we have to pay. In the form of installments to the plant and machinery, how much we have to pay. All this we have to include here. This is all called payments. We have to first calculate it, and we have to put it here. Now I will show you how these amounts came, and we have to find the subtraction between the total receipts and the total payments. A minus B, that is 537 rupees 50 paise in the month of October we left with, and this amount we have to take it as a balance brought down in the November month. Okay, then again we have to calculate the receipts, and we have to calculate the payments. So like that we have to prepare the cash budget. So first we will see sales amount. How we will get this sales amount in the month of October? 3212 rupees 50 paise. How much how this is going to get, that I will show you. In the problem they have mentioned that credit terms are sales. 3 months time they have given from the purchase of month. At the time of purchase, first we have to pay 10% of sales on the basis of cash. At the time of purchase, at the time of sales only, we have to receive this amount. The leftover amount we have to pay 50% as due date, and the next 50% as the following month. That is the amount they have given. That is the condition they have given. So first we will see for the month of June, we will calculate it. For the month of June, that is in the month we have done 3000 rupees worthy of sales. In the month we have done 3000 rupees of sales. 10% on cash. At the time of selling these goods, we have to we have to receive the 10% of this amount. 10% of this amount means 3000 into 10 by 100, which gives us 300 rupees. We have to receive 300 rupees at the time of sales. So in the June month, we will receive 300 rupees as cash for these sales. So in the June month, the remaining amount, that is 3000 rupees minus 300 rupees, that is 2700 rupees. This leftover amount they have to pay 50%, 50%. They have to pay 50%, 50%. And they have given us 3 months time to receive that amount from the purchase time. That is, we have done the sales at June. So June month, July month, they have given June, July, August, September, like that. So in the month we have done this sales, June month. We have time period of 3 months. 3 months means, so in the June we have received 300 rupees as cash sales. The leftover amount, that, so in the June month we will receive 300 rupees as 10% on cash sales, that is, and they have given us 3 months time period, that is July, August, September. In the September month they have to be paid 50% of the leftover amount, and in the October month they have to pay again 50% of the leftover amount. So in this way we have to receive the amounts. So first 3000 rupees of sales we have done at the time of June. We have received 10% of cash sales, that is 300 rupees at the June month. The remaining amount 2700 we have to receive in the 3 months period of time. They have given us 3 months period of time, that is July, August, September. At the third month, so we have to receive 50%, and in the next month October we have to receive the leftover 50%. So in this way we have to calculate the sales amount. That means in the October month we are getting the amount, we are receiving the amount in the form of sales, that we have to calculate. In this way, here we have to make a note. We are not concentrating on September month's amount because we are not preparing the cash budget for September month. We are preparing the cash budget from October month, that is October month, November month and December month. So we are concentrating only on these 3 months. So in these 3 months, what are all the sales we have done, that we have to concentrate. So this information we will put it in a form of a table. So like that, here we have a table, calculation of amount of sales, So in the month of October, what are all the amounts we will get. In the November month, what are all the amounts we will get. In the December month, what are all the amounts we will get, that we have to mentioned in the form of a table. So first, how we will get this 1350 as an amount of June month's sales that we have to calculate here. So already we have discussed that sales amount is 3000, cash percent 10% on cash sales is 300, leftover amount is 2700. 2700 50% amount is in the 2700 by 2, which is equal to 1350 rupees. So 1350 rupees, and the next amount is 1350 rupees. So this 1350 rupees have to be paid at September month, and in the October month also we have to pay the same amount, 1350 rupees. So this we have mentioned here. June month's sales amount closed at October month, that is 1350 rupees. Okay, in that way we have to calculate it for July, in that way we have to calculate it for August, September, October, November, December. So in the July month the total sales is 3250. In the July month it's 3250. So 10% amount is 325 rupees. So we will calculate the leftover amount. $2,825. So in the month of July we have done it. July, August, September, October. In the July we got 325 rupees. We got 325 rupees. So we have given with 3 months time period, that is August, September, October. In the October month we have to receive 50%, and in the next month, following month, we have to receive the 50%. So 50% means 2825 by 2, which gives us 1402.5. So 1412 rupees 0.50 paise. So in July month we have done sales as 3250 rupees. So 10% cash amount is 325 rupees. So we will left with 2925 as leftover amount. So we have done this sales on July. So in the July month we have received 325 rupees. July, August, September, October. We are given with 3 months of time period. In the October month we have to receive 50% of amount, and in the November month also we have to receive the 50% of amount. So in 2925 the half amount is 146 2 are 4.5 1462.50 we will receive in the month of October. 1462 rupees 50 paise in the month of November. So these two we have to take it, because we are preparing cash budget for October month and November month also. These two we have to put here, that is in the month of 1462 rupees 1462 rupees 0.50. So in the month of August we will get the amount like this. In the month of September, 10% on September month, the remaining amount will be at December month. We will pay December month, and in the next year January, but we are not concentrating on that amount. So we are just concentrating on the only December month amount. So next one is October. So if we if we done the sales on October month, that is October month we have done 4,000 rupees. So on that month we have to receive 10% amount, that is 400 rupees. So 400 amount, the leftover amount is 3,600. So we have to make a note of this 10% amount 400 rupees compulsorily on the October budget, because in the month of October we are receiving this amount, that's why we have to concentrate on it. The remaining amount will be paid on October, November, December, next year January and next year February. In the next year January we have to receive 50% amount, and in the February we have to receive the 50% amount. So we are not concentrating on these two amounts because this comes under next year, but we are concentrating only on these 3 months, that is October month, November month and December month. So in the month of October, so we are receiving 10% of this cash sales, that is 400 rupees. This we have to make a note here. So in the month of October we will receive 400 rupees. Like that, in the month of November we will receive 425 rupees because its sales is 4,250 rupees. 10% is 425 rupees. December, in that December month. So like that we have to mention all the amounts, and then we have to make a total of it. In the October month how much we are getting, in the November month we are getting, and in the December month how much we are getting. These amount we have to put it in a cash budget. So in the October month we have received 3,212 rupees 50 paise as October sales. This we have to mention here. Sales 3,212 rupees 50 paise. Okay, and they have also mentioned that in the October month our cash balance is 1,500 rupees. So this balance brought down should be brought here, and receipts is 3,212, and in the form of shares and dividends we are not receiving any of the amounts in the October month, so that I left it here. Total is 4,712 rupees 50 paise. So next we have to calculate the payments. What are all the payments that we have done in the month of October, that we have to mention here. So creditors for the raw materials, so we have to pay this amount. We are given with 2 months time period to pay this amount for the raw material purchase, so that we have to calculate. Okay, so here for the creditors for materials we are given with 2 months time period. So 2 months after we will pay the amount for materials. That is in the month of June. So we have done 1,000. We have spent 1,800 rupees for materials. This amount we are given with 2 months of time. 2 months of time means June and then July. 2 months of time. In the month of August we have to pay this 1,800 amount. So we have done this expenditure on June month, but we have to pay this amount on August month because they have given us 2 months time period, that is June and July, and then August we have to pay this amount. Like that, in the July month we have done 2,000 rupees spent for this raw material purchase. This amount July, August. In the month of September we have to pay this amount in the month of September, and in the August we have done 2,400 rupees spent 2,400 rupees on materials. August month, September month and October month. In the October month we have to receive this amount, we have to pay this amount, that is 2,400. So this we have to mention here, that is 2,400. Okay, like that we have to mention it for November month, and we have to mention it for December month also. Okay, so like that we have to pay the amount on October month, that we have to calculate, and we have to put it here. So next one is wages. For wages also they have given some conditions. So we have lag payments in wages, production overheads, and administration and selling expenses. So in wages we are lagging off 1/4 months. So 1/4 months of the previous months. So that we have to calculate, and we have to put it in the October month's payments. So wages. So we have to calculate the wages amount like this. That is, we are lag of 1/4 of September month's amount, and we have paid 3/4 of the October month's wages, and we have left this 1/4 of October months that should be paid on next month, that is on November, that we have to calculate. So 1/4 of September wages. In the September month, wages is 750 rupees. In the October month, wages is 800 rupees. This we have to keep it here. In the month of September, we have done 750 rupees as wages, and in the October month 800 rupees. So in this 750 rupees, we are left with 1/4 of amount that we should have to calculate, and in the October month total amount is 800 rupees. Here in this October month we have paid 3/4 of this particular amount, and the leftover amount will be paid on next month, that we have to calculate. That is we will get, for 1 is 4, 4 8s are 7s are 187.50 plus 4 1 is 4 200s 600, total 787.50. This amount we have to pay on October month, so that we have to keep here. That is as wages 787.50. Next, for production they have given us half months, and administration and selling expenses also half months. We are lagging with half months. Previous month's half salary, that means half production amount, and the current year's half amount, that we have to mention here. In the month of September, this is for production. So half of September plus half of October. So half of September month's production amount is 300 plus half of October month's production one is 300. That is 150 plus 150, which is equal to 300. So this we have to mention here. Production overheads as 300 rupees. And in the same way, we have to calculate for administration and selling overheads also. So in the administration and selling overheads also, we are given with the month of September 175 rupees, in the month of October 200 rupees. So half of September plus half of October. So half of September month's value is 175 rupees plus half of October month's value is 200 rupees. So next, which gives us 187.50. So in the month of October, so we have to pay as administration and selling overheads as 187.50. In the preference dividend we don't have to mention. Income tax also we are not paying. And in the month of October, so we have to pay the plant and machinery installment, that is 500 rupees. In this way we have to calculate all the payments and we have to make a total here, and we will subtract this from A, that is receipts minus payments. Next we will left over with 537.50. So in this way we have to mention November months also and in the December months also. So in this way we will prepare the cash budgets. In this way we will prepare the cash budget. We will meet you in the next video. Thank